So good afternoon to all. On behalf of our management and automobile department, I welcome all the KCG faculty for today's webinar on the topic use of technology in educational video creation and delivery. It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Yogendra Paul. Dr. Yogendra Paul completed PhD in Educational Technology from Educational Technology Department of IIT Bombay in 2016. At present, he is working in CSE department of IIT Bombay as project research scientist. He spent a lot of time in search of hardware, software in either content development or in content delivery. Since 2009, he is creating educational videos and have recorded more than 10,000 videos till the end of 2019. I request all the faculties to post your queries in the question and answer section. Now I invite Dr. Yogendra Paul to start the section. Over to Dr. Yogendra Paul.
Okay. So now I am able to see a lot of screens. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you all are fine in this time and you all are able to hear me. So I've been told that this is the first time that most of you are making educational video. So I want to know in the webinar chat that I can see on Zoom, I want to know how many of you have created educational video, any kind of educational video. It's just not that you have created very good quality video. If you have tried and if you have created a small clip, that's also okay for me. So chats are open for you. If you can write, then okay, that's all. Oh, somebody has created, some tried. Oh, that's all. That's good. I am seeing few years from here. That's very good that you have tried after watching my post on YouTube. Okay, that's good. This means I can actually discuss some advanced features also. Oh, wow. I am seeing so many yeses. That's really good. So actually I can now talk about some advanced thing also. So many of you have tried videos, and one person also wrote that they started creating after watching my YouTube post. That's really good. But in that YouTube post, I also mentioned about creating audios. So how many of you tried creating audios for your students, which is known as podcast? Can I get any yes from for this question? Have you tried audios? Okay, that's good. One person created. That is again good. So I can see few replies, obviously less than videos, but oh, that's good. Seeing so many good. So Jaya ma'am has made students to create podcast. That's a wonderful idea. So if you are actually bringing your students into creating educational content, that's really good, because this way you can actually ask them to submit the assignment, and they will study more because they have to write less and search more, and then based on that they have to write their script or present in the mic. Okay, that's very good. So is it okay if I go with the problems you have faced, or if we have many people who have never tried educational video creation, I can go first with my slides and then I can ask you to ask your questions.
So the percentage of faculty who might have created is very less, and I'm Dr. Devasundari. I think we can first go ahead with the basics, and then we can go for Q&A.
Okay, that's good. So let's start now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my slides. Here it is. I hope everybody is able to see the slides. So let's start now. So we are in this session, I'm going to talk about use of technology in educational video creation, and I am also talk about some part of delivery. And this is 2 days session. Means today I am presenting, and I will again come back to you on 21st second. I am going to give a lot of to-dos for you. So if I just hope that you will try all of these things, and when we will meet again on 21st, you will have a set of questions in advance, and I will be answering them and trying to solve your problems. So the thing is, how to start creating educational content? This is first question. How to start? So there are many ways to start. You can start with anything. But if you are new, I always suggest to start with audio, because audios are very easy to create. Okay. All you need is this smartphone. Okay, everybody has it, correct? I believe some of you remember that iPod before iPad, iPod were there, correct? And there was a service related to that, iTunes, and audios were very popular those times. Nowadays also in radios you can see there are lots of educational things are being presented. Audios are very easy to create and easy to broadcast. They take less time and less hard disk space. This means less network bandwidth. So if you have problem with network bandwidth, you can start with the audios. Audios are very useful in situations when, especially when you are taking classes for language training, when you are taking classes for motivation, grooming, personality development. Okay. So these things are can be easily taught or covered with the help of audio. So what is podcast then? See, audio got it, but the thing is that podcast is known as when you record only audio for explanation. No video, no graphics, no slides, nothing, just audio. Then we call it a podcast. So podcast can be used to teach languages, motivation, provide summary of lecture. So yeah, this is very good. So for example, today you delivered a lecture via this class, like Zoom class is going on. Okay, after that class, I can summarize it in 3 or 4 minutes, and then I can send that summary with the help of anything. Is because it's audio, you can send it over WhatsApp also. Okay, but it's not preferable. The preferable way is to share it with some other mechanism that also gives you insight whether people watch it or not. Okay. So if you want to learn it, I have already created a video for it. So unfortunately, all the equipments that are required, I can't show you right now. Okay. Even if I show you, I can't demonstrate each and everything. So I have already created videos for all of you, and you can go watch that video and then do some to-dos. So if you want to start with creating your own podcast, then you can go to this link. There's a small video, I believe 15 to 20 minute long video. And after watching that, you will be able to publish your first podcast with the help of your smartphone itself. If you need some motivation, some of you might be thinking that we cannot teach with the help of audios. That's not true. This is one subject, signals and systems. It's considered as one of the difficult subject in the engineering branch. And one teacher is trying to teach it with the help of audios only. And this is pharmacology. It's related to medical line. And one teacher is trying to teach pharmacology with the help of audio only. So you can try, you can go through these podcasts, you can listen to them, you will get some ideas. When you will visit the platform, you will get more audios, and then you will come to know that yes, we can also make podcast. In your mobile, there is an application, is not installed, you have to install Google Podcast. In the Google Podcast also, you can search for these two podcasts and you will find them. You can also search for my podcast, ET Mantra, with the name of ET Mantra, and you will find my podcast also. And if you watch this video, you will be able to create a podcast that will be available on Google Podcast in just 1 or 2 weeks. So this way it will become very easy for you to connect with your students. You do not need to pay for it. It's absolutely free service. So I recommend you to start with it. So here is my to-do list for you, and you have to do it before we meet on 21st. Okay. So I know that without putting a lot of thinking on some subject, we can always make judgment that audios are not helpful for me. I have done a lot of study on that. Means I talk to teachers and then I ask, do you think that audios can be useful for your students? Most of the time I listen the answer no. So many of you might be saying the same thing right now. So what I do, I give them a little exercise. I say, okay, do one thing. You have a subject. That subject has a long list of topics. Can you identify just 5 topics from that you can teach with the help of audio, that can be taught with the help of audio only? I'll give you a clue here. whenever you think that you need to create a talking head video. Talking head is recording your face while you are speaking. When you think that you have to create a talking head video to give this information to your students, that type of video, I believe, can be produced with the audio also. For example, right now, I'm speaking and I'm looking into camera. What thing are you getting? Means what extra thing are you learning while looking into my face? Nothing. Audio itself is sufficient. The message that I want to deliver is inside the audio, not in my face. So you can also think that way. So make a list of at least 5 topics from your subject that can be taught from audio only. Then from those 5, select one. Which one? For which you can think you can record its audio in less time. Then with the video that I have already shared with you, watch it. You will learn how to create your audio and how to publish it. Then write a script for that. You may need to write a script for 1 or 2 audios only. After that, you will get a flow. You will understand the flow and you will be able to record your audio immediately without writing the script. And then you listen to your audio yourself, try to see whether there are any problem with the audio, and if you find problem, try to re-record it, again try to re-record it. This exercise will also help you in creating videos. If you make a mistake while you are recording an audio, it's comparatively easy to remove that mistake from an audio than when you make it in a video, and it's costlier also. When you are making videos and you make a mistake, that's costly also. So with the help of audio, you will not only creating audio, means content for your student, but also you are getting the habit of content creation. So you are also learning some techniques that will be useful to you when you will be creating the videos. Then you create an account on anchor.fm and create first episode. When you record it, send it to your peers. See, right now I can see 100+ teachers are online. You can send it to your faculty, your colleagues, and then ask them for improvement. This will give some idea to your colleagues also. So they may also start. So this is a to-do for you. And I would like to see few of you, actually I want all of you to give me the link to your podcast. But if all of you are not doing it, I hope some of you will definitely do it. Then when you have done it for audios, then you can actually go for the videos. Okay. So what do you need when you go for the videos? You have to select the videos that are easy to create. Don't go for the videos which are difficult to create. Okay. So these 3 types of videos are very easy to create. One is tabletop video, then screencasting, and finally slidecast. Tabletop is required when you need numericals, when you want to teach numericals, when you want to show a student how to solve something. And screencasting is required when you want to teach some software. You can create a screencast with the help of mobile or with the laptop, it depends. So for example, if you want to teach somebody how to use PowerPoint, in that case you need laptop. Similarly, there are many subjects for which simulators and many other things are available on laptop, not on mobile. In that case, you can create a screencast on your laptop. So software training, and when you want to teach an application. For example, in our mobile also, there are many applications which are useful. So for that, you can create a screencast on your mobile phone. Softwares are available for both of them. When you want to teach programming, screencasting is the only solution available with you. Then there comes slidecast. What is slidecast? Basically, when we record a slide, then we say that we have created a slidecast. So it can be used to teach theory and conceptual subjects. Okay. So with the help of these 3 combinations, I believe most of the subjects can be taught very easily. And whenever there is a chance to record your talking head, I say you go with audio, unless you have some some experience with creating these three types of educational videos. So what is tabletop? Let's understand it. It's a very easy technique. So tabletop is when you are recording table surface. Okay, so we all work on table. This is a table where my laptop is there. So if I start recording this table surface, then what I call it? Tabletop video. Correct? When it is required, whenever I want to teach with paper and pen, this is required because I will have paper and I will be writing with the help of pen. All I want is somebody record that. Okay, something should be able to record that thing while I am writing on paper. Obviously, I will be speaking, and because the camera will capture the video as well as audio, the video is ready. Correct? And these types of videos are very easy to create because the only technical knowledge you need is how to operate camera application from your mobile phone. And most of us know it. This is why this is very easy to create. You can create with the help of a smartphone, so you do not need any big cameras, correct? And if you want to learn it, how to do it, means if you want to learn more technical details, then you can watch this video. In this video, I have covered a lot of things that may create problem when you are recording tabletop. I would like to show you one example of tabletop video. So this is the tabletop video created by my friend, and he is teaching D flip-flop, which is a topic from communication systems or communication engineering. So let me now play that video. You will not be able to listen to the audio because I have not shared the system audio, but I just want to give you the feel. Audio is not that important. So I hope now you get the idea. So as you can see, hand, pen, paper. This is visible. Those who have experience in creating videos, educational video, they may find it more interesting to create Khan Academy style videos. I believe most of you have seen Khan Academy style videos. So when you have computer screen and you are writing on computer screen with the help of a digital pen, then and we record that, we call it Khan Academy style video. But many of times when you are teaching a subject, it is very important to point out different things on the paper. For example, here on this image, he might have said with the help of finger, see this zero will come here. So that movement is very important when it comes to teaching a student. Okay. But when you are making this video with the help of recording your computer screen, that hand gesture is gone. While hand gesture is very important when you want to give your ideas to students. Okay. This is why I recommend tabletop. It has many benefits and it is easiest to create. There's one more benefit of it, that students like it. They like it because the same way they have to write in their examination. Okay. Consider subjects like geography, biology, where diagrams are very important, electronics, diagrams are very important. And when we create a diagram, there is a logic behind it. We just can't create anything. Okay. There's a logic when we draw something in the diagrams. And it's very important for these subjects that students also learn to make diagrams, correct diagrams. That can be done with the help of this method only. There is no other method that can fulfill this requirement of students. This is why students love it. So this is actually my arrangement to record tabletop videos. You can ask any carpenter to make this device for you, okay? Because it's a little difficult to hold your mobile like this. Okay? It's a little difficult. This is why I have developed this, because we are making tabletop videos on regular basis. So we can't rely on arrangements. We need a method which is very quick. So I have received a question about free online tools to create audios and videos. Yes. So fortunately, the tools which I have talked about. So first I talked about audio. Correct? When you want to create audio, all you need is your mobile device. Okay. You can download applications. There are many audio recorders available. Then the application which I have suggested, Anchor.fm, that is again free of cost. You can publish your audio with the help of that, and those audios will be circulated on various platforms including Spotify and Google Podcast. So that is free. When it comes to recording tabletop videos, again you need this with the camera. You need camera application, nothing else. So again, no software is required. You already have a software in your smartphone. Again, that is free. Okay. So till now, I have talked about only free things only. Whenever it will come to paid things, I will talk about it, and I will also tell you the alternatives of those things. So this is my arrangement of recording tabletop video, and when lockdown started, I shared this idea with all the teachers. So what I got, I see teachers has created arrangement themselves. See, you can see these arrangements. Somebody is using a simple tool from kitchen. Somebody is using dumbbells, weights. Somebody has made this arrangement, absolutely simple mechanism. See, somebody also have used this light, and you can see this one is the best. This is not best, but this one is very steady, means it will not move when you are writing on that thing. So the same way, because nowadays means it's difficult to buy anything, you can make this arrangement yourself at your home with the help of devices. This selfie stick is available in most of the houses nowadays. You can make arrangement with this as well. So whenever you will make arrangement, you will find some problem. You need to make some tweaks and tricks into that, and then you will be able to record tabletop perfectly. Make sure camera should be stable. Only then your paper or your video will look good. So again, these things are also free. Okay. Now let's talk about to do. So what you have to do now? I have talked a lot about making tabletop video. I have showed you images, you got some ideas. Then I want you to record this thing yourself. Again, try to identify 5 topics from your subject and see which are the topics that need tabletop. Don't make a tabletop if it is not required. For example, if you record a tabletop where your hands movement or your pen or writing was not required, then it is useless. Don't come up teaching a theoretical subject with the help of tabletop, because that you can do it easily with the help of Slidecast. I'll talk about it. So whenever theory is required, whenever you want to solve some question, whenever you want to draw some diagram, only at that time you need tabletop videos. So you need to identify the topics from your subject which require tabletop videos. Then from those 5, you select one. Okay. Then make your tabletop arrangement. And here you can see this is actually a link. You can go to this link to see how other teachers have managed to create their own arrangement for tabletop recording, and you can get some ideas from there also, or you can create your own setup. Whenever you do it, take a photo, go to this link, share that photo into that link. On 21st, I'll present all those photos shared by you. Whenever you are sharing, make sure you write your name and your college's name. I will then pick those photos and then I'll present on 21st May. After you made the arrangement, record the tabletop video. After you record your video, try to assess it yourself. You will see there are lots of problems. Assess it yourself. When you are satisfied, means after assessing, you will re-record it, and when you are satisfied that according to you, the video is fine now, then you share it with your teachers, with your colleagues, and then get it reviewed with them also. This way, in few iterations, after recording 6-7 videos, you will be in a comfortable situation to record tabletop videos, and you will see that they are very fast to produce. In just 1 month, you will be able to create videos of around 3 to 4 hours, which is a big deal when it comes to video creation. And when you do that, you will definitely get some problems. So list all the problems, strike all those that you have solved yourself. Whatever remains, I will answer on 21st. But you will have problems only when you do something. If you are not going to do it, you will not face any problem. You will not have any questions. Now let's come to the another type of educational video, which is screencast video. What is a screencast? Whenever I am recording my computer screen, I call it screencast. Correct? So recording computer screen with audio explanation is a screencast. These are again easiest, fastest, and only possible way to teach programming or software training or application training. The good thing about screencasting is on one laptop is enough. Okay. And if you want to learn it, you can go to this link and learn it to create on your laptop. The software name is OBS. So I have written that name here, obsproject.org. This is the website. You'll go there. Then you will be able to download it, install it, and then you will be able to use it. I will demonstrate it just now. Wait a minute. So now I'll show you how to use OBS. Okay. So OBS again a free and open source software. So you will not find it difficult to use because it's comparatively easy. So this is available here. So I believe now you are able to see a different screen, OBS software. I want to see some yes before I continue. Otherwise, okay.
We're able to see, sir.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So see, this is OBS, and when you open it for the first time, it looks something like this. So it looks like this. So I will enable the preview also. Yeah. So it looks like this when you open it for the first time. Now, what you want to do? You want to record your computer screen while teaching something, correct? This means you have to add that stream to this software. All the sources that you can add are available here. For example, I can add my computer screen from here. So let us say I want to teach PowerPoint. In that case, I will add a window capture because PowerPoint is what? Is a window, means it's coming in a window. Any software is open in its window itself. So I will click on window capture. So I've received a question from JMM. When I use video capture device from OBS, I will talk about it. I will talk just after this thing. So when this window capture is here, I will give it a name. It's not necessary to give it a name, but since it is OBS, it's very powerful software and you can add more than one thing into this screen, into this source list. Okay. This is why it's very important to give it a name. So I am giving PowerPoint. This is the name. And then I will click on OK. Now the window is added. It's asking me what do you want to present on this window capture. So right now I have a long list which is open. So I will open slide PowerPoint. See, this is PowerPoint.exe and this is PowerPoint.exe PowerPoint slideshow. So don't open slideshow because this is a slideshow. Okay, and this is PowerPoint. I want to teach a software, so you have to open the window that has the software. So I'll select this one, and then you can see this PowerPoint is available here. Make sure that you capture mouse also and click on OK. Now it's here. Okay. Then your source is here, and now as you can see, I am speaking. When I am speaking, you can see this bar is also moving. When I am not speaking, this does not move. This means that OBS is able to listen from my mic. Okay, because it's able to listen, it will be able to record as well. Let us say if I don't want it to record what I am speaking, I just want to demonstrate the screen, then I will click on this mic button, and now it will not capture my sound. Okay, I want to capture my sound. This is why I will click here, and now I will be able to capture my sound. When I am satisfied with this setup, see my PowerPoint window is here. This means now I can teach PowerPoint. My audio is being recorded. This means now when I do anything on PowerPoint window, that activity will be captured. So what I'll do, I will now click on Start Recording button. Okay. So let me now click on Start Recording button. And as you can see, this Start Recording button is now converted to Stop Recording button. I will now minimize this OBS, and then I will go to PowerPoint. I believe you are not able to see the PowerPoint screen. Let me now present my screen to you. See, now you are able to see my PowerPoint window. Now I will do some work on this PowerPoint. Clear? So for example, I clicked on this slide. I clicked on this slide as well. So these clicks, these movement, this change on screen is now being captured in OBS. You do not need to be on OBS. Okay. So I have received many questions that whenever they are on OBS, how will they work on PowerPoint? You will work on PowerPoint. OBS should be running. That's all. Running with correct settings. Okay. So right now OBS is running with correct settings, and I am on PowerPoint, and I am working on PowerPoint. So all the activities that I will do here, like if I am going to these tabs, or I am changing some other theme. See, these themes are being applied. These things are now getting recorded. Okay, all the activity. I will come back to my normal slide. Since I have done a lot of activity, I will now, when I have done teaching, for example, if let us say I am now done teaching, then what I'll do, I will go back to OBS, because now I have to control the recording part, not the teaching part. So I will go to OBS, and then I will click on Stop Recording. Now this recording button has again converted to Start Recording button. And now I will click on File and Show Recording. Since our video is recorded, so I would like to see how that video is recorded. I'll click on Show Recordings. And it will now open the folder where all my videos are available. And I believe this is the video. No, not this one. This is the video that we have recorded just now. Let me now play that video. And this time you should be able to listen to the audio as well, because I have shared computer audio with you. Recording button. And as you can see, this Start Recording button is now converted to Stop Recording videos. I will now minimize this OBS, and then I will go to PowerPoint. I believe you are not able to see the PowerPoint screen. Let me now present my screen to you. See, now you are able to see my PowerPoint window. Now I will do some work on this PowerPoint. Clear? So for example, I clicked on this slide. I clicked on this slide as well. So these clicks, these movement, this change on screen is now being captured in OBS. You do not need to be on OBS. Okay. So I have received many questions that whenever they are on OBS, how will they work on PowerPoint? You will work on PowerPoint. OBS should be running. That's all. Running with correct settings. Okay. So right now OBS is running with correct settings, and I am on PowerPoint and I am working on PowerPoint. So all the activities that I will do here, like if I am going to these tabs or I am changing some other theme, see these themes are being applied. These things are now getting recorded. Okay, all the activity. I will come back to my normal slide. Since I have done a lot of activity, I will now, when I have done teaching, for example, if let us say I am now done teaching, then what I'll do, I will go back to OBS, because now I have to control the recording part, not the teaching part. So I will go to OBS and then I will click on stop recording. So I believe now you got it, correct? Similarly, you can create a lot of screencast. It's that easy. Whenever you want to create a screencast, it's that easy. Okay. Now I'll close that video. And now I am looking into some chats to see if you were able to hear. Okay, you were able to, good. You were able to listen to the sound of the video. That's very good. So with the help of OBS, since we have recorded while we were teaching our software, see, don't confuse with teaching something with slides and teaching a software. They are two different things. This is why I always say two different names. Slides, teaching with slide is slidecast. Teaching with screen recording, screencast. Okay. So don't confuse with these things. I have just presented example of teaching PowerPoint. Similarly, you can teach any other software. Okay. Now, what I will do, I will now, so I just made one mistake. Yeah, I made one mistake. Sorry, actually this Zoom window was there. Now I am able to see your recording on this Facebook. This is why I was able to identify this mistake, and it's very important to talk about it. See, when I added this screen PowerPoint here, what happened? You can see some area is out of this recording area. Okay. Make sure you make it inside. You can move it like this. Okay. And then fit it inside. Once it is fit, only then you will be able to record complete thing. See what happened? There is this black screen. Whatever is placed on that black screen will be recorded. This is the feature of OBS. So make sure the windows that you are opening are inside this black area. If they are cutting like previously it was like that, then they will not be recorded. In the final video, you will see this video only, which you are able to see right now. So let me now resize it and place it inside. Okay. So this is one thing. Now, there are requests from teachers that they want to create a screencast, and at the same time, they want to record with their camera, with the web camera, which is available with them. So the thing is that I am able to see the webinar on Facebook Live, but I am unable to share it. What is the problem with that? Okay.
Would you like to have the Facebook page link? I didn't get your question.
I have the Facebook page link and I have the video in front of me, but I am unable to share this video with something. Okay, I got the link.
Yeah.
I will now share it on my
Okay.
Facebook page. Okay. So sorry for that. So let's now come back to the point. So when we want to add our face as well, all we need to do is add one more source. See, the beauty of OBS is you can add as many sources as you want. Previously, when you want to do that, you have to do a lot of things. Means you need to have a lot of hardwares. But right now, you just need one laptop. So what's the situation here in front of me? I have two cameras connected to my laptop. I have one big camera using which I am talking to you. And I have another camera, which is default web camera in laptop. So I will use that camera since the big camera is being used, that cannot be put inside this. So I will use web camera, means default web camera. And for that, again, I have to add one more source. So I'll click on this plus icon to add one source. And then this time I will use video capture device. So I believe Jayaman, now you get your answer. Now I will give it a name. and it will open a window in front of me, and this window shows the camera available on my device. So right now my device has these cameras, and I will add the default camera, HP TrueVision HD, which is the default camera of my laptop. Now I have added it, and you can see my face on that screen. All I will do is click on OK, and this video you can see is now on top of the Windows screen. Correct? All I need to do is now place it wherever I want. The important thing about OBS is that you can't edit this PIP thing later. See, you can always remove unwanted portion from the beginning, from the end, from the between. But when it comes to changing the position of PIPs, PIP is picture in picture. So you can put as many things as you want. But right now, when you are working on OBS, before starting recording, you have to set where you want to place your video. You have to set in advance. You can't do it while you are editing this video. Okay. So you need to be very careful about it. So for example, let us say if in this video I am going to talk about how to present your slides. That way I have to talk about these buttons, and I have to talk about these things also. So if it comes to PowerPoint, I believe the safest place is to put the video here, or maybe here. Okay. So you have to be very careful where you are placing it, because it's fixed. It's inside a video. You can't remove it. You can't move it. So let us say I have decided to keep it here. Then what I'll do, I will now simply click on Start Recording button. So let's click here. Now what is happening? PowerPoint window. My stream from camera is getting recorded, converted into a video, and getting saved. I will now minimize this. See, it's very important to understand that OBS is required only when you want to control what you are going to record. Once you have said these things, then and you clicked on start recording, just simply minimize it. Now you go to the software where you want to teach, and here again you can start teaching it, and again you come back to, once you are done teaching, you simply come back to OBS and then stop recording. It's that easy. Once your video is recorded, go to File, go to Show Recordings. You will be able to see the videos and simply play that video. I think this is the video. Recording button. And as you can see, this Start Recording button is now converted to Stop Recording button. This one. Now what is happening? See, PowerPoint window, first listen to it, then we will talk. My stream from camera is getting recorded, converted into a video, and getting saved. I will now minimize this. See, it's very important to understand that OBS is required only when you want to control what you are going to record. Once you have said these things, then and you clicked on start recording, just simply minimize it. Now you go to the software where you want to teach, and here again you can start teaching it, and again you come back to, once you are done teaching, you simply come back to OBS and then stop recording. See, this is how you can record your video along with the software that you are teaching. Okay. So I am receiving some questions. I will answer the questions now. So somebody has said Screencast-O-Matic and free webcam is similar. Yes, sir. There are many. So not only these two, there are hundreds of such applications. Okay. So you can explore all of them. I have no problem with that. So I am teaching the free ones. Screencast-O-Matic is not free. And let's see the chats. There seem to be some kind of a delay in the video. Yeah, it happens. There's a delay because of internet, obviously, and because of many other reasons. So I believe now you know how to use OBS. Okay, you can do a lot of other things as well. For example, I am coming to that. Just wait a minute. So, for example, you want to display your name as well. So what I'll do, I will click on this source button. Now you get the idea of source. Okay. Now you also understand PIP, picture in picture. So let's add a text here, and I will give it a name, and then I will write the text here. Okay. You write the text. Obviously, you are going to write your name, or you can write any other thing also. Then click on OK. The text is here. You simply resize it and place it wherever you want. So for example, I want it here. Now this will be recorded. Similarly, you can record whatever you want. Okay. So if we now look into the list of the source, so there is audio input capture if you want to add one more audio device, audio output capture, browser if you want to capture a browser screen. For example, if you are capturing some simulation of H5P, then maybe browser capture is required. If you are capturing some Wikipedia page, maybe browser is required. This is color source. So if you want to add some color source, for example, I would like to add a color source, let us say blue, and I will then select a color here. So I'll select a color which is blue, and I'll say okay. So this is now available here. Now you are seeing that this blue color is on top of everything. Why? Because if you look into this, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, we are able to.
Okay. So I am receiving few questions. One is, sir, can't we project the PPT as slideshow in OBS? Not in OBS. Understand this difference. See, OBS is a recording tool. It will keep doing its job. Okay. If you want to add a slideshow, what do you do? Add a window source. As a window source, add a slides, and then minimize the OBS. Start presenting your slide. Come back to OBS. Stop recording. Can we edit videos in OBS? No. We can't edit videos in OBS. OBS just to record videos. External camera is not built, means we cannot create. Yes, if there is no external camera connected to your laptop, then you can't add it as a source. You need to have a hardware. I'm receiving some chats. So can we separate audio and video? Yes, we can separate audio with video. Okay, let's now come back to our OBS. So as you can see, whenever I am adding a source, they all are coming on top of each. See, PowerPoint, then web camera, then name, and then finally there is a blue color source. So they are all coming on top of each other. This is why you are seeing them like this. The back of the screen is PowerPoint. After that, there's webcam. After that, there is name. And finally, there is this blue color source. I want to move this blue color source before my video camera. So what I'll do, I will change its position by dragging and dropping. Once I put it in place like this, now you can see that this is in front of PowerPoint, but behind my video. I will now resize it. When you want to resize, you can use Shift button, Control button, Alt button to give a perfect shape that you want. Like this. And I can then move this text source, sorry. Here. See, you can make a lot of arrangement like this. And when you start recording this thing will come with the color source, with your camera, with name. So I hope that now you get idea on how to create screencast with the help of OBS. Similarly, when you want to create screencast with the help of your mobile phone, there are many software available, and I will talk about it right now. But I'd like to answer one question here, which was very important, and it may confuse a lot of you. So somebody asked if it is possible to record slides with the help of OBS. Yes, you can record while you are presenting your slide with the help of OBS. All you need to do is add a source. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove this PowerPoint source. It's not necessary, but it's better to remove it. I will remove it. I will right click on it and click on remove. And now it is removed. Okay. Make sure your PowerPoint is in slideshow mode. So right now you can see my PowerPoint is already running in slideshow mode. Correct? Make sure this is not minimized. This is also important. Now I will go to OBS. I will add one more source, and this time I will add a window capture, and this time I will select PowerPoint slideshow. See, this is PowerPoint slideshow. This is PowerPoint itself. I will select slideshow. Now you can see slideshow is here. I will resize it to fit it on the screen, and I will move it down so that my audio is also there. So if you have seen my NPTEL's video, I have done the similar setting. Means obviously this blue color was not there, my name was not there, but I have done something similar, and this is how the video was broadcasted with the help of OBS one. Now I'll close OBS because I believe everything is covered. I'm receiving some questions. I'll answer them one by one. First, let me now come back to the slideshow. Okay. Now I'll take 4 questions. There are 4 questions. One is, I think this question is already answered. Sir, we can do recording using PowerPoint itself. Is it? Yes, yes, we can do recording with the help of PowerPoint itself. So this is again answered. Sir, how to record PPT presentations? Already answered. What is the studio mode in OBS? It's actually something different. It's okay if I talk about in 21st, because that is more towards live streaming your lecture than recording your videos. Then I have another question. Can we use 2 different applications, say PPT and a browser? How to switch between those while recording? Yes, you can do that also. So what I'll do, what you will do for that, now let me talk about it. It's very important question, so I am talking about it. Let me now go back to OBS. Okay. So what I am telling you now, how to record everything, whatever you are doing. So you may have multiple softwares open at the time. So sometimes you have to go to browser, sometimes you have to come to application. Sometimes you want to open a whiteboard and writing on it, correct? So you may need multiple windows. In that case, what you will do, I'll tell you exactly that. So I am removing all the sources. Okay, you can keep them also, but I just want to simplify everything. Then I will add another source, and that source will be display capture, capturing complete display, not just one application. So right now, what I am doing, okay. So what I am doing, I am actually, with the help of Zoom, I have shared my complete screen, not just one application. Correct? Similarly, in the OBS, you have to select complete screen, not an application. So I'll click on that and I'll click on OK. The problem with my PC is that right now, this screen is already being captured. The same way the web camera is being captured, I can't put web camera in the OBS. The same way I can't put my screen here. But when you will do this display capture, when you will do this, you will be able to see your complete screen here. And when you are able to see that, simply click on start recording, minimize OBS, present everything, then come back, click on stop recording, and then you will be able to see your video. So I hope I have answered this question. I'll now take one more question. So those who want to ask question, please put in question and answer section, because this way you all, I believe, are able to see the questions. So now there's one more answer. Sir, what about memory size to upload? So I'll talk about the uploading part little late. I'm marking it done for now. So somebody has asked, can we watermark our OBS video? So yes, the way I just did. So let me now again go to OBS, and how we will watermark. Let us say I am capturing something. I am capturing a window, and that window is, let us say, PowerPoint slideshow, and I want to watermark that. How will I do it? For watermark, what do you need? Some people put their text, some people put their logo. So let me now put a logo. So for that, I need image. I will say logo. Click on OK. Browse from my PC. I will then select an image. So this is my logo. I will click on OK, and then I will change its size and put it somewhere. See? Done. If you want to put your text, simply click on add text. Text. This is the desired text you want. So for example, you might want to share your website address. Say OK, resize it. Okay. Place it somewhere like this. So right now you are not able to see it because of the color. So we can change the color. Let's go to the properties and see if there's option for color. No, color option is not there. If color option is not there, then you need to do another thing. Right click on the source for which you want to change the property. Right click on that, and then you will see a lot of things. So like this set color is there. So different source will have different properties, and I will select this gray color for that. I believe it is now available. No. Okay. So now let's go to filters and add a filter. We can apply color key. Okay. And let's select a different color. Let us say blue. So something else, let us say blue. Group pad color correction. Color correction might help here. So this color, yeah, this color is here. So let me now select a color. Okay. And see, now I am able to see the color. Change these things and click close. See, this watermark is now available here and it's visible too. Okay. Now you can start with your presentation. Whenever you will finish the presentation, you will see a video watermark with the logo and with the text. Got it? So be very careful. See, you may confuse. Don't confuse with that. While you will be on the presentation, you will not be able to see both of these things because they are not there. They are part of this OBS. Okay. So OBS will be capturing slide, image, text, putting them into one video. Now I believe you got it. I will now go back to my screen. Again, I will take some questions. Sir, I already tried to install OBS in my laptop, but unable to. Is there any configuration for? Yes. So Windows 7 is not supported. I have received this comment from a lot of teachers. Windows 7 does not support. In fact, Microsoft does not support Windows 7. So most of the softwares that you are seeing now or in future, very soon they will stop supported by Windows 7. So don't use Windows 7. Is there any time limit? So another question is there any time limit to complete the entire presentation in OBS? Is there any time limit? No. There is no time limit. It's OBS, means Open Broadcaster Software. Means it is meant to broadcast yourself. So you can broadcast for, let us say, 24 hours, 48 hours. There is no limit of time. You need to have the battery backup. You need to have other resources ready. OBS has no limit. Can we edit the video? This is a question from Dr. K. Vijay Raja. No, OBS is not for editing, but yes, we have many other questions. We have many other videos, softwares that can be used to edit videos. I'll talk about that. Okay. Let's now see some chats. Okay, so I believe all those who were asking questions on chat, now they are posted with the help of this. So one question is very important, asked by Kanimoji Raman sir. In free version, what is the maximum time to record? In Screencast-O-Matic free version, we can record only 15 minutes. Okay, sir, whatever softwares, applications I am talking in my presentation and will talk in all my presentation are all free and open source software without any limitations. And they will be the best among all the available open source software also. Okay? So this question will never arise. Like logo will be there or not, watermark will be there or not, what is the time limit, what is the due? No, nothing. It's completely free open source software. Just use it for free without any problem. There's one more question from Narsimha sir. Can we separate audio and video? Yes sir, we can separate with the help of Audacity software, and because of the time limit I can't present it here, but you can see it on one of my video. If you search for Audacity for Teachers on my ET Mantra channel, then you will be able to find that video. And in that video, I have talked everything about improving audio quality. But I'm also saving this question to answer on 21st. So there's a question. Sir, kindly indicate that a clear demo videos were available in Bodhi on OBS. Okay, so ma'am already know that for OBS there are videos available on Bodhi. You can watch them also. There's one question: can we embed a video in OBS and the record audio in parallel? It's a tricky question. I believe you can do it. I can't answer. I never tried it because there are other ways to do it. So basically you are talking about voiceover. If we can do a voiceover in OBS or not. So there are other ways to do it. I will recommend you to use Audacity with some normal video player. So I clicked on a video or on a question that I did not answer. Okay, so there's one open question. Is animation possible? No, animation is not possible. So in fact, for the animation, in 2-3 days, I am going to post a video on my channel, ET Mantra, and that will be the most detailed video. I'll cover everything in that. In short, what I can tell to most of the teachers, that explainer and animation, these two videos need many people. So if you don't have the bandwidth, don't go for that. Then you need softwares which are not free. Only in animation, there is a free software, Blender, that you can use. In 2D also there are some software, but most of them are not as good as paid ones. So it's kind of waste of time. You may save some money in software, but you will be spending more money in human resources if you are going with those softwares. So I always recommend don't go with these things. Yes, sir, you want to say something?
Yes, so we have a couple of questions in Facebook as well.
Okay.
One is that what is the file format of OBS?
Yes, it's a very important question.
And to add to that question, can we execute OBS file anywhere?
Yes, we can. Okay, now I can see the questions here also. Okay, so it's a very important question. For that, I have to share my OBS screen again. So now we are on OBS. So see, this setting is very important. When the OBS is open broadcaster software, you need to understand it because this is created especially to broadcast ourselves. So you have seen news. So whenever they are going live, most of the news channels are presenting their debates live. During the live, there is no time to edit, correct? So you have to simply record from camera and directly send it, broadcast. The same thing can be done with the broadcasting software, this OBS. Okay, and this is why it does not allow you to edit the video. And because you have to broadcast, your video must be recorded in a format which is universal. Correct? This is the important thing. This is why it supports all final formats like MP4, MKV, WMV, AVI. Okay? It does not support any format that needs editing. For example, TREC, it needs editing. Okay? There are many files, video files, those needs editing. These are uneditable videos which you are going to create with OBS. So if I go to file, go to settings of OBS, then I will go to video. You can see the aspect ratio of video is here. You have to select whether you want to record video in full HD, which is 1920 by 1080, or you want to record your video in HD, which is 1280 by 720. Right now, my screen size is 1360 by 780. So I have to select the base resolution this, and the output resolution is full HD. I want full HD. So I will select 1920 by 1080. If it is not available, it is not available because base resolution is low. So I'll select 1920 and then it will be available here as well. So you have to select the high definition and then go to output, and from here you can select the recording format. So right now the recording format was MKV. Here these are the recording formats. So you can record your videos in FLV, MP4, MOV, MKV, TS and M3U8. These are the formats available. So if you want to share it on YouTube, MP4 is better. If you want to share it live on Facebook or YouTube, then FLV is better. Okay. So I hope you got your answer now. I will again go back to slides.
Sir, we also have one more question in Facebook.
Yes, please.
Any free software that you would recommend? Similar software that which used for NPTEL videos, which uses a stylus.
Stylus.
Yeah.
Actually, see, stylus is a hardware. See, I have it right here. Okay. So, are you talking about this, na? Stylus, correct? So,
yes,
stylus
sir.
is basically a hardware. Okay. So, you do not need any software in order to use this stylus, means because it works as a mouse pointer only, correct? So all the drawing programs like MS Paint itself, that can be used to draw, correct? Now you got my point. You will be writing on this. You will see the writing on your computer screen, correct? So you just need a writing software. Got it? The point is not that whether it works with the stylus or not. Every software, if it has drawing capabilities, will work with the stylus, because the stylus is nothing else. But you can say it's an extended version of mouse. It's basically a pointing device. Correct? So the best free software for writing or making notes is OneNote. You can use OneNote for that. Let's now the Khan Academy, they are using a different software which is known as Smart Draw. Smooth Draw. Yeah, Khan Academy, or if you have seen the videos of Khan Academy, they are using a Smooth Draw software. So I believe you got this thing also. Now there's one more question, sir, how we can reduce the background noise during recording? So I am again saving this question. These are all advanced level questions. Unless you have experience with 3-4 types of videos, this question does not make any sense. So obviously the person who is asking has experience. This is why she is asking that. So if you want to remove background noise, you have to use Audacity. Again, Audacity is a free and open source software. You do not need to pay anything for that. So you use it and then you will be able to remove the noise. If you want to learn how to use Audacity, so Audacity is a big software, but as a teacher, we need only 4 or 5 functions of that. I have covered all of those 4 or 5 functions in a video, which is known as Audacity for Teachers, and it is published on my video channel, ET Mother. So now I believe you get, sorry. Now I believe you know how to use screencast. Let me now give you a homework. Okay. So this is the to do for screencasting. Again, you have to make a list of at least 5 topics from your subject. Then out of those 5, select one for which the video will be of less size. Means, let us say if there is a topic that can be covered in 8 minutes and there is a topic that can be covered in 15 minutes, select the one which can be covered in 8 minutes. Then record your first screencast video for that. But don't make a mistake that you select a topic which is not suitable for screencasting. Okay, if you are presenting PowerPoint, I don't consider it as screencast. If you are teaching PowerPoint, that is a screencast. But if you are presenting your PowerPoint and explaining it, it's not a screencast. I want you to understand the problems with the screencast. You have to control things with the help of your mic. You have to click, you have to right click, you have to type many times. Then you will be able to understand the problems associated with the screencasting. Then you will demand a software that have features which are required for perfect teaching. If you simply present slides with the help of screencasting software, you will not understand screencasting at all. Then you record your first video, assess your video yourself, do the same thing, means re-record the video unless you are satisfied with the video. Once you are satisfied, share it with all your colleagues. Then publish that video online. But stop, before you publish, I am going to talk about publishing also, okay, at the end of this session. So you need to wait. So just keep the videos ready with you and you will face a lot of problems. On 21st, I'll answer all of your problems. Let's now go to another type of video which is known as slidecast. What is slidecast? Simply recording slides with the audio explanation is slidecast. They are again easy and fast to create. Make anywhere with your smartphone. This is the beauty of slidecast. For slidecast, what is required? You need a slide and you need a recording software, means a screencasting software. That is available. Screencasting software is also available in your mobile device. And because it's slide, it can be presented on your mobile devices. So simply start presenting the slide and start recording, keep explaining, and when you are done, stop recording software and your slidecast is ready. It's that easy. I just did it in front of you with the help of OBS. Correct? Similarly, you can do it with the help of a mobile screen, mobile device also. If you want to do it in mobile, I have created a video for that and that video is available here. You go to that, you watch that video, 15-20 minute long video, and you will learn to create slidecast with the help of your mobile devices also. You already learned how to create with laptop. I have given the link also here. Yeah. So again, same to do. This time you have to record slides. When you record slide, assess it yourself, share video with your fellow teachers. Then when it is ready, you will have many questions to ask to me and then I will answer all your questions on 21st. Let's now talk about the last thing. Okay, we learned how to create tabletop, how to create slidecast, how to create a screencast. Okay, but we did not talk about publishing it because publishing is a difficult job. When you want to publish a video, make sure, means right now I am working in with a very good internet, so I have no problem with internet. Means I can upload even 5 GB of video. But when you are working in an area or in a network where network bandwidth is very low, in that case you may need to reduce your file size. The important thing is that we don't want to lose the quality. So for the Windows, there is a software which is known as Handbrake. You can use the Handbrake software. How to use it, I have talked about in this video on laptop. And for mobile, there are 2 different mechanisms and I have talked both of them on this video. So you go through this, means if you have recorded your video on laptop, then select this method, on laptop method, and if you have recorded video with mobile, select on mobile. When you reduce the file size, then you are ready to share it with the world, with your students. The problem is most of the teachers don't understand that you do not need to share the video on WhatsApp. It's not recommended. Don't share the video on WhatsApp. Okay. Share your video on YouTube. Or if you have access to G Suite, share it on Google. Once it is shared there, you copy its link the way I have copied the links and I'm sharing it with you. You copy the link and then share on WhatsApp group with your students, on your Facebook pages, on wherever you want. You can embed those videos in Moodle, then you can embed those videos any other LMS that you are using. Okay. This way, what will happen? You will also come to know whether students are watching your videos or not. Okay. You will be able to see how much percentage of your video is being watched. This way, you can tweak your teaching style. You can change your content presentation style. This is why I never recommend to share videos on WhatsApp directly. Share on a platform that also gives you statistics. So that is all. I think I have covered almost everything. I will now meet with you on 21st. I just request you to complete all to-dos as I mentioned in this slide. The slide I am going to share with the sir, and then sir will forward to all the participants who registered for this workshop. And keep your questions ready. If you have questions, if you made list, share it with the sir on 21st morning. I will go through all your questions. I will prepare my content accordingly, and then I will cover only those things on 21st. Now I am going to take the questions which are already available here. There's only one question. Question is by Arvind Tony. Sir, slide recording can be directly recorded from PPT using record slide show options. Yes, sir, you can use any mechanism. I'm just talking about the universal ways. So for example, let us say somebody don't have access to PowerPoint 2016 or upper version, then what will happen? So I talk about those which will work in most of the devices. Right? And there are 13 dismissed questions also. I would like to go through them and would like to answer most of the questions.
Sir, actually, you have answered all the questions.
Okay,
I dismissed it. Yeah, I dismissed
Okay,
it because it was all answered.
I see. Got it. Okay, so I think
Thank
we're
you.
done now. I would see anything in chat. Okay, yeah.
So thank you, sir.
So thank
very
you.
interesting.
So would like to, anybody here who want to ask questions in live, or what is the formality now?
Sir, we'll have a discussion on the 21st.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, actually, the session was very interesting and useful one.
Thank you very much.
You have shown
Thank you very
the
much, sir.
simple arrangements to create the tabletop videos, and also discussed the audio and video tools. We learned the advantages and disadvantages of OBS, application of Audacity, and the Slidecast. Surely all the suggestions given by you will be taken by our faculty to create videos. Thank you, sir. We'll meet on 21st. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to see the list of questions on before 21st will be our session. So try to send all the questions of participants before that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Shall I close it now?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye.